Hi there, and welcome back to the second part of our Stress Effects webinar. This one is titled, What Are My Options? I'm Brooke Beasley, and with me today is Sally Kerr, Vice President of Wellness Programs and Education for the Vitamin Store Physician's Preference and for Hootsy Health and Wellness Center. And if you joined us for part one, she was with us then. And I'm so happy to have you back because you really are the expert when it comes to health, wellness, fitness. You've been there, done that, and you've had experience in all of those areas. And in part one, we covered the basics of stress, why stress makes us feel a certain way, and how stress can affect our hormones. And if you missed part one, don't worry, we've got you covered. You can click on the Want to Know More box on your screen right now, and you can watch the Holiday Stress Effects part one of this webinar. But today we're going to be focusing on what your options are if you find yourself to be stressing at any time during your life, not just the holiday season, but specifically during the holidays, because that's kind of when we notice the most stress kind of kick in. Right. So something that seems to be impossible to avoid, but we're going to give you options and solutions. So Sally, let's start with this. Tell us what stress is. I know we talked about it in part one, but let's recap by giving a definition.
Absolutely. Stress is one of the many ways the body responds to the environment. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's what you see, hear, smell, and feel every day. So your body is looking out for itself.
Right.
It's taking in everything.
Right.
But chronic stress, that's the one that we're concerned about. Absolutely. It disrupts nearly every system in your body. It can raise your blood pressure, suppress the immune system, increase the risk of heart attacks and stroke. It contributes to infertility. And this one, it speeds up the aging process.
No.
I don't think any of us like that one.
No.
Increases muscle tension, headaches, often migraine in nature, or simply tension headaches. And it can cause adrenal fatigue as well.
Well, and for adrenal fatigue, I know we talked about this again in part one a little bit.
Right.
But what are some of the things to look out for? What are some of the symptoms of that?
Well, and let's start with just what your adrenal glands are.
Well, right.
They are little glands that sit on top of your kidneys, and they produce cortisol. So that's your stress hormone. Without it, we simply couldn't survive. Cortisol enables us to handle stress and change. However, when our cortisol levels are too low, that's when we can experience some of the symptoms called adrenal fatigue. So it's like the adrenal glands have gotten tired. So let me go over some of those symptoms as well. Exhaustion. You're just tired.
All the time.
All the time. All the time. You're worried. You feel anxious. You have panic attacks. You get lightheaded when you stand up. Difficulty focusing and concentrating. And just that chronically stressed feeling. It's almost like that sense of impending doom. It's just out there.
Well, it's just kind of real tension, a lot of tension in the shoulders and
Absolutely. Have you ever seen people in there? It's like their shoulders attached to their ear. That's that muscle tension. So it's just locked up on them. Absolutely.
Well, stress kind of sounds like a disease all on its own, really.
It really is. I mean, it's recognized as the #1 proxy killer disease today.
Really?
The American Medical Association has noted that stress is the basic cause of more than 60% of all human illnesses and disease processes.
Goodness.
Exactly. And so chronic stress, money and work are the top 2 causes of stress. And I think money and work are also 2 very big stressors in relationships.
Yes.
But those 2 are also followed by the economy and relationships. If you are addicted to any of that talk radio or like any of the news programs, it's just you're being bombarded with the bad news. All of the bad stuff. People worry about the economy. They worry about what's happening. And you need to be aware, but if you really actually can't do anything right at that moment and you're just continuing to take that on, that creates stress.
Sure it does.
This is very interesting too. Utah, Kentucky, and West Virginia have reported to be the most stressed states.
Really? Those 3.
And so I don't really know why. Do you have any ideas about that? I don't. But Wyoming and North Dakota reported to be the least stressed. Now I envision Wyoming and North Dakota as just a slower paced life.
You would think.
More wide open spaces.
Right.
Yeah, so a little more tranquil. But this is very interesting as well. 75% of all doctor's visits are for stress-related problems.
We mentioned that in the first part, and when I learned that, I was totally taken off guard. I would never have expected that high of a percentage would be the case.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
And this is also very interesting. 24% of Americans categorize their stress as severe.
Huh.
So they not only recognize it, but they rank it as pretty high.
Right.
Now, I know there are many factors when it comes to naturally relieving ourselves of stress.
Yeah, so we've got nutrition.
Yes.
We have exercise, and we know that you can take a high-quality vitamin as well. Add that to your regimen.
Right.
But when it comes to nutrition, what are a few tips that you would suggest could also help with eating well and maintaining that balance?
Right. You want to give your body the nutritional support, the best nutritional support that you can. So you do want to eat a variety of foods, and you want to eat regularly. You want to keep your blood sugar levels constant. Mm-hmm. And with a variety of foods, that doesn't mean, go from one fast food restaurant to the next.
Right.
But it means, including in your diet those fresh fruits and vegetables, organic if at all possible. Because when you eat the other, you're ingesting pesticides, which is another stress to your body.
Right.
But then focus on those lean proteins and the good fats. You also want to maintain an ideal body weight.
And that's sometimes hard to do because people say, I just don't have the time to exercise and eat right. But it really can be done, especially if you are hormonally balanced. Sometimes it's as simple as that.
Right. And that yo-yo dieting is something you want to avoid because your body likes to stay constant.
Right.
And so if you're constantly on a diet trying to lose 5 pounds and you gain 10, then you try to lose 5 more, your body just doesn't even know what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So you want to avoid saturated fats as well. And again, eat those whole foods in their natural state. So stay away from processed foods. Stay away from additional sugars added into food. Limit or just in moderation alcohol use, which is during the holiday season, that can be a real challenge when you're at cocktail parties and everything kind of revolves around all these different foods and drinks. So you really want to watch that and make sure that you're hydrating yourself as well. So water, water, water. If you have a cocktail, then you follow it with a glass of water.
Right.
And then caffeine. How many of us are exhausted, maybe from adrenal fatigue?
Right.
So we start that day. We've got to have our
cup of coffee.
Our cup of coffee.
Well, and now you're seeing these energy shots everywhere.
Oh, and those are so hard on your system.
Yeah.
Yes. So you really want to watch that. Limit the caffeine. Absolutely. Again, avoid the dieting because you don't want to be yo-yo dieting. And eat foods. You can actually eat foods that help relieve stress. Yeah. So dark leafy greens such as spinach, kale, arugula, those are all high in magnesium, and magnesium is that calming mineral. So the more we can get of that, the better.
Right.
And then dark chocolate. I know everybody loves to hear this one, dark chocolate.
I like hearing that.
Absolutely. It lowers levels of stress hormones, and because it contains natural sugars, it can help feed those mood-improving neurotransmitters such as serotonin.
And the key is dark. I mean, you want to eat dark chocolate,
milk
not
chocolate
milk.
doesn't count.
If sugar is that first ingredient, probably not a good good thing to put in your body.
You're doing one of those no-nos.
Right.
And then almonds, they're high in antioxidants and B vitamins. And fish has natural essential fatty acids. And then avocados, they're rich in B vitamins and they are that good fat for you.
Love it. Well, so we've talked about nutrients. We've talked about what you should be eating. Let's talk about exercise, something that some people are afraid to talk about. But when it comes to exercise, we know that it's very important for the body, both physically and mentally for optimal health. So I'd like to know what some exercises that you suggest to our viewers and for me that can help reduce that stress.
Absolutely. The main thing is your body was made to move. So you've got to get up and move. One of the worst things that we do right now is sitting at computers and sitting there for hours after hours without getting up and moving around. So walking is one thing. If you do have like a desk job or where how many of us have sat at a computer and before we know it 4 hours has passed?
I know.
And it's like, oh my goodness. So set a timer and every hour get up and walk for 5 minutes. That's easy.
Wow.
But formal exercise is even better. So go for a swim or a jog. It releases natural endorphins, plus it burns calories. And I've never ever met anybody that went and worked out and said, I am so sorry I did that.
That's so true. You have this surge of energy afterwards.
Absolutely, and you always feel so much better, even if it was a struggle to get to the gym or to put on your shoes and go outside and walk. But there's cycling classes, there's indoor cycling or spinning classes. If you've never tried that, do it. You will leave there feeling like $1,000,000.
I love it.
Weight training, yoga and Pilates are also good choices. And again, yoga is known for its stress decreasing attributes. It focuses on breathing, centering yourself, clearing your mind. It's absolutely awesome. You can get DVDs or videos online because there's so many different kinds of yoga.
Right.
A lot of times people say, well, I've tried yoga, it just wasn't for me.
Right.
Well, there's a variety of different types. So find
all
the
people.
one absolutely that's best for you. There's even, there's prenatal yoga. If you're, about to have a baby, you can do that. There's just all different types.
I love it.
Yeah. And then this one, a lot of people, they know they need to work out,
Yep.
and that just adds one more thing to their plate.
A stressor.
Another stressor.
Right.
And so this is supposed to be decreasing stress, but instead they're like, oh, here's one more thing that I'm not going to get to today.
Right.
So break it up into manageable pieces. Do a 10-minute walk in the morning, at lunch, in the evening, along with those little 5-minute breaks you take from the
Right.
computer. You'll get in that hour. You always hear about parking, further away in the parking
Right.
lot or taking the stairs.
So you're forced to walk a little bit further.
A little bit
Well,
further.
And
Absolutely.
you've showed the team here at the Wellness Center how to do a 10-minute workout and get
yes.
and really use all parts of your body, but it be quick.
It's something quick. You can do it in the morning or in the evening, but if you do it in the morning, which is when I recommend it, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. You've already
Right.
done something very, very positive.
And listen, if you want a link for that, if you look on your screen, there should be a resource section there. If you click on it, we'll have the 8-minute workout done by the one and only Sally that can get you kind of going in the mornings.
And you need an exercise ball, one of the big round exercise balls, and one of the exercise bands. That's all you need, and
Right.
a little bit of space.
Right. So we know that nutrition and exercising is really important because they release the endorphins that your body needs.
Right.
But I'd like to talk about something for those times where you need a really quick fix for that
Absolutely.
anxiety. What are some other tips that you would
You
give
need
us?
just a little bit more. Sometimes our tasks can be just so overwhelming, so it helps if you set goals and then break them down into little manageable pieces so that
Right.
you do feel that sense of accomplishment.
Right.
And then laugh. I love this one. Laugh and laugh a lot because some things are just really funny. And it can really just lighten the mood and
Right.
make you realize that it's not so bad. It's very therapeutic. So if there's a funny movie that you like, put that on. Watch it.
Love it.
Jokes are great, and being around funny people is awesome. Yeah. And then accept the things that are out of your control.
Yeah.
Because you can worry yourself to death
That's
about it
right.
and never ever change it.
That's right.
Focus on the things that you can control. So learn also to feel comfortable talking about your feelings, and there you have to be careful. Because what you don't want to do is become that person known as Debbie Downer. When your friend sees you coming, she goes,
They
"Oh
run."
my goodness!" Right. So it's got to be a give and take.
Yeah.
You both have to be able to lift each other up.
That's right.
and
But also
help
be able
each
to
other.
and share.
And to share. And
to get that
sometimes
stress
when
off.
you talk about what's going on, you realize it's not that bad.
Right.
You were internalizing it and making it much more than it
Right.
actually is.
That's
or
me.
was.
That's me.
And I think all of us
Yeah.
do that. Taking a shower, that just is so therapeutic.
Is
And
it really?
Absolutely. And just like soaking in a warm bath, since ancient times, hydrotherapy has been practiced for its healing and restorative powers. And we kind of
Wow.
forget that.
Yeah.
So if you're going to take a bath, make that time very special. You can sprinkle in some bath salts and Epsom salts right here. They're inexpensive. They're a way to increase your magnesium levels. They
Once
help,
again, that calming.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and it just helps your muscles to relax. You can add some aromatherapy, some essential oils. You can light aromatherapy candles. Put on some nice music, and here's the most important thing. Put a do not disturb sign on the door, and then lock the door.
So no one can get in.
So nobody can come in. That's your special time. My children
Right.
used to know don't go in there.
Now's not the time to
Now's
ask the
not
question.
the time. And then you come out and you're just a whole different person. And then I love this one, get a massage. This is almost mandatory these days. It's not a luxury anymore. And nobody can disturb you when you're in your massage
That's
session.
right.
I mean,
That's
that's your time. And new mothers, I really want to talk to you especially. You absolutely have to have a break during the day. so that you can be the best mommy that you can be. You don't have to be super mom. Don't try to do it. Ask for help and take a much deserved break.
Sure.
You'll be a better mommy, wife, and your children will benefit as well.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then there's scents.
Oh, yeah. Aromatherapy.
Aromatherapy. That helps calm nerves. You know, have you ever walked into a home and they've got cinnamon or there's something
Right.
baking and it's just such a,
Right.
it just calms you down. So vanilla, lavender scents, peppermint oils have more of a stimulating effect. But if you have a tension headache, here's a trick. You can take a couple of drops of the lavender essential oils and actually just massage your temples
Really?
and help
helps
release that
relieve it.
tension. Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yep. So think about what smells you like that help relax you and use those. Use that tool. Remember, your body's taken in all different kinds of senses throughout the day. It's using your nose, your ears, your eyes.
That's right.
Your touch.
You don't need drugs. You don't need a Xanax to get you through that plane ride that you're anxious about. Or you don't need a glass of alcohol to try to calm your nerves. It really
Right.
it can be done naturally, and there's quick things you can do to relieve those nerves.
There really are, and we see so many people that come into physician's preference and into the wellness center that their doctors have tried to help them, and what they did was they gave them an antidepressant,
Right.
an anti-anxiety, and a sleep
Sleep.
medication. Generally, it's those 3 items all at once. So they're pretty much
Yikes.
just zoned out and they're not better. They come to us for help.
Right.
Yeah. So another tip is to get outside. So
Love it.
Vitamin D, get that from the sun. It instantly boosts your mood and reduces stress. And it also helps, just being out in the sunshine, helps increase your serotonin levels.
Yeah.
Right.
I believe that. Well, and I know that breathing is something
This
that
one seems so basic,
it
doesn't
does.
it?
It does, but it's something you don't think about.
Right. And you don't think about it, but if you catch yourself in a stressful situation, I want you to notice what you're doing. You're probably only using about this much of your lungs. So
Quick, short breaths.
quick, short breath, because
Right.
that's what your body does when it's in that stress response. It quickens your breathing. And if you just simply slow down, take a nice deep breath in, usually if you just count like up to 6 or 10, and it's slow, and then use that same count to exhale, your body thinks everything's okay.
Right.
And it instantly calms you down.
Wow.
And that's free. You can do it anywhere if you're sitting in traffic, if you're standing in line, if you've chosen to go to the mall and go shopping. and
During
you're-
the holiday
During the
season.
holiday season. Absolutely. Practice your deep breathing.
Right.
Yep. And then this last one, of course, is get more sleep.
That melatonin, it's a hormone that just adds that balance to your life.
Right. And remember, when you reach about 40, 45, that's when all your hormones really take a nosedive.
Right.
But melatonin's one of those hormones also that takes a nosedive.
Yeah, and that's something that you can easily get over the counter. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about other supplements, vitamins, nutrients that you
Absolutely.
can get in your local, and I shouldn't just say any store. You want to find a good quality supplement. But tell me about some of the supplements that you would suggest to kind of ease the stress levels.
Right. In addition to that, like you said, that good diet and the exercise, and you're getting your sleep, and you're doing all these things, it's good to have a little arsenal. So you've got your little pack that's ready to go.
That's
so
right.
in addition to a good multivitamin regimen, we have what's called the Calm Pack.
Calming, just hearing the words.
It is. It really is, and it just gives you this sense of, oh, okay, I can do this. So if you know that you're going to be going into a stressful environment, or if you've just been wound up for a long, long time and you need to bring that down a little bit, I would look at our Calm Pack, which includes inositol.
Is that what this is right here, Sally?
We've got them right here. So this is the inositol. This one's been shown to aid the transmission of messages along avenues within the central nervous system. So it just helps you to calm down, calms the mind down. It stops the brain chatter. It allows you to focus and kind of reorganize your thoughts.
Great.
And this one, it's actually been used and been very effective in actual panic attacks.
Really, when it's happening.
When it's happening.
Interesting.
And you have to take pretty high doses of it, actually. So you would want to definitely either visit with your doctor about this or with a vitamin consultant to figure
Great.
out what's the perfect amount for you.
Great.
Yeah. Another one is magnesium, which we've talked about that one and the foods that you can find it in. It's also in chocolate. I
love it.
But this is a miracle mineral that's essential for everybody.
You know, it really is, especially, and you don't even have to have a panic attack to feel like you need this. You could be having an asthma attack. My husband has asthma, and he takes it even during a small asthma attack, and he's good. He doesn't need that inhaler.
Right, and so
It's
think
amazing.
of that when it's a natural muscle relaxer.
Right.
And so if you've got those tense muscles, that magnesium is going to help you. We talked about also taking a bath with Epsom salt. That's magnesium.
Right.
Right. And then 5-HTP, which is 5-hydroxytryptophan, and we've got it right here. This helps your body to produce serotonin. And so what that does is serotonin is that calming neurotransmitter. It's just what brings you down a notch.
Love it.
Helps you to sleep. And so that one's just, it also, well, it helps decrease carbohydrate cravings.
Really?
So during the holiday season, that one's very important as well.
Interesting. Very interesting.
And then vitamin B6, this one really is like a cofactor. It helps your body manufacture neurotransmitters such as serotonin and helps your body to deal with depressed moods, stress, anxiety. It also helps boost the body's immune system during times of anxiety.
Really? Very interesting.
Yep. All of them can be purchased individually. If you feel like you just need one, you can absolutely try that. But we did put this compact together because they do work synergistically to relax your muscles, calm your nerves, soothe tension, and ultimately relieve that stress response.
Right.
Naturally.
I love it. That's the key, naturally, without prescription drugs, without surgery, without a huge glass of alcohol.
Right. Yeah, and there's one more supplement. I've got to talk about it.
Okay.
It's rhodiola. And I've got it right
here.
Back there.
There we go.
I'll talk about the other one too. Rhodiola, this is an herb. It's known as an adaptogen, and it really does help your body handle stress. It helps give those adrenal glands a little bit of support. And it's a supplement that you'll take it and you'll think, well, I don't really feel anything. You keep taking it. And then,
over time.
And then eventually, you know, within probably 3 to 4 weeks, you're going to go, wow, I'm handling stress a little bit better.
Great.
And then if you run out, all of a sudden you're going to be going, wow, I'm not handling stress as well.
I
What
noticed,
happened?
yeah.
What am I out of? Right.
I noticed that.
And then there's something else that I just wanted to mention also, because stress can raise your blood pressure, and high blood pressure can be very dangerous. So we do carry a supplement in physician's preference as well to help support good, healthy blood pressure levels.
Great.
Yep.
That is very important. You hear about how many diseases are associated with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's talk about chocolate one more time.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
So eat chocolate. A piece of dark chocolate just might be what you need to kind of lift your outlook on life and reduce that stress level. It's a proven antidote to stress. And we carry the kind that you should have in physician's preference. You want to try to go for
Very yummy.
an organic chocolate. Milk chocolate, again, doesn't cut it, so it's got to be that dark chocolate. But it helps lower your risk of stroke, diabetes, and heart disease.
Helps with stress. I love it. Gives me a reason to eat it.
Now, you don't want to eat the whole bar in one sitting.
Okay.
You want to have that little
Everything in
piece.
moderation.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, listen, you only have one life to live, and we're sitting here talking about the holiday season coming up and how easy it is to get stressed out. You don't want to live stress, especially not during the holidays, which just comes once a year. You want to remember those memories. You want to be able to enjoy the time with family and friends, and that's why we want you to take charge of your health today and make sure that you not only do exercise and eat the way that you're supposed to, but maybe even look into getting some nutrients or supplements over the counter that can help with those high stress moments that you need to.
Absolutely. Take those steps to prevent that stress and depressed moods that can really hit after the holidays.
Right.
Because you've geared
That's
up,
true.
so you've released all those stress hormones and you've gotten through it, and then you just kind of crash.
That's true.
And that's also
You do.
another thing that you want to watch after that is that's when you're most likely to get sick. How many of you have made it through that stressful event, and then boom, you're down
out.
for the count. You're down for the count because your body's going to stop you. So let's give it the support it needs. Recognize your holiday triggers, such as financial pressures. Set a budget.
That's so true.
Right? Mainly people want time with you.
Right.
And so, you know, how many of us have rushed out on Christmas Eve because we didn't have enough gifts?
That's right.
Yeah, and then
Christmas Eve.
Then they open them all in 5 minutes, and you still didn't have enough gifts. You can never have enough gifts.
Right.
So really look at that. Look at the personal demands on you. Say no, and plan exactly what you're going to do, and then have have this in your toolbox. If you know you're going to be traveling, say to relatives' homes, or doing some of that can be stressful.
Sure.
Help yourself a little bit. Or if even just flying during the holiday time can be so stressful,
That's right.
go ahead and help yourself a little bit.
That's right. Well, let's talk about that. If they're interested in getting the compact or any of the supplements we talked about today,
Right.
Where can they go for that?
They can go online to physicianspreference.com, or they can call us at 1-800-579-6545.
Great. And the great thing is we have vitamin consultations, so you can speak to a consultant, even have nutritional counseling, and you are offering something new, stress
Right.
management courses or classes, am I right?
Right, and also just personal stress classes, so they can be
Great.
geared to the individual.
Great.
I can work with individuals or groups. If there's, several people that would like to come as a group, I'd be happy to do that too.
I love it. And something special we'll do today, and before I get into this last part, if you have any questions at all, you can always call us, 800-579-6545, because we're running out of time. 1-800-579-6545 is the number to call. But I wanted to let you know about something special we'll do today. On our Facebook page, if you go and look for the image that we're going to put up with some quick stress busting tips, there we go, and you share it, you're going to be entered into a drawing. So make sure you go onto our Facebook page, find us on Facebook, and share that image and see if you can get a compact. That's something we'll be giving away a little bit later. Again, the number 800-579-6545, and we hope that you will take charge of your health, avoid stress as much as you can by doing and using the tips that Sally has given us today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas.